So there are too many mods for Lethal Company right now, so it's pretty hard to find the right one for you. But here are some of the most interesting ones I found recently, which includes more cool interiors and also amazing new entities and scrap items that changes how you play the game completely. Starting with the first mod on the list, it is called the Lethal Playtime mod. This is a huge mod that adds in multiple new creatures from Poppy Playtime as enemies, and they aim to be balanced to avoid being too strong. There are tons of new enemies, so let's go through the most notable one. Starting with the latest addition to this mod, the Boxy Boo monster. Boxy Boo has loads of unique mechanics, and it sort of works like a jester but in a different way. It will start off within its box, and players can hold its crank to prevent from ever popping out of it, so there are some counterplay to it unlike the jester. There will be custom music playing, and when it is successfully popped out, it will chase you non-stop as it will always know where you are. Based on our testing so far, Boxy Boo will automatically re-enter its box when it chases a player for too long or takes significant damage. Plus, its movement speed is not as crazy as the jester, so it kinda plays like a weaker version of the jester, which is amazing considering that it's balanced and players can focus on having fun with it. Now, aside from Boxy Boo, Miss Delight is also a new addition to this mod. Miss Delight sort of works like the Call Hit, and she is a creepy one if encountered upon. When she finds you, staring at her will make her freeze indefinitely. However, she does have a chance to break free from it. The longer she's frozen, the higher chance of breaking free, so staring at her forever isn't an option like the Call Hit. Once she unfreezes, she can't be frozen in place for a short amount of time, but don't worry as her movement speed is not as insane as the Call Hit, so you can still outrun her if done right. However, she will be a hassle to deal with if you are led into a dead end, so be extremely careful of wherever you go. She will start out less difficult than a Call Hit but can become more difficult as time goes on, so be very wary of your surroundings. I think she is one of the scariest one in this mod personally because of how unexpected she can be, so don't let her catch you off guard or else it's an instant death. Now the third entity in this mod is called Dog Day. Dog Day will relentlessly chase you down if seen, and he is made to stay true to the original game as much as possible. Also, he is killable, so you can deal with him if you have the means to do it. If you manage to run far enough and break line of sight, it is also another great way to lose it. Now of course, we also have the fourth and main entity in this mod, which is Huggy Wuggy itself. He is a monster with a unique personality that can sneak up on you, hide, and even jump scare you when he gets angry. You can hear his audio effects such as his roar throughout the facility, which is super terrifying. When Huggy Wuggy starts chasing you, it will get tired from time to time and sit down to recover some stamina, so use this opportunity to run. Only one of Huggy Wuggy can spawn at the same time because he is pretty strong, and he will squeeze you until you pop if you get caught by it. And honestly, there's more to Huggy Wuggy that you must discover yourselves, as it is a hell of a ride. I probably missed out on some more detailed behaviors for most of these monsters, but that's all of the important ones for now. So go ahead and try this one out because it is a seriously fun time. Now we're not done yet though with the Poppy Playtime universe, as the next mod on the list is called the Smiling Critters mod. This is a dependency of the Lethal Playtime mod, which adds in 48 new scrap items in total for you to find yourself, which is pretty neat. Plus it also introduces the Smiling Critters enemy from Poppy Playtime as well. All 8 of these small enemies are balanced to the point of being a weaker type of enemy with custom death animations and sound effects as you expect from higher quality monster mods. They are super cute but can be deadly as well. While pretty weak, they work like a small nuisance, so should be dealt with ASAP if you have the capability to dispose of them. Now apart from these enemies, let's quickly talk about the 48 new scrap items as well. If you are familiar with the Poppy Playtime universe, this mod adds in a complete toy versions of Brawn, Bunzo Bunny, Candy Cat, Cat Bee, and Parker to the roster. There are also 9 golden statues from the game as scrap items that are heavy and rare but super valuable if you survive with it. Honestly, there are way too many to go over, but one thing's for sure is that you will not regret downloading this mod together with Lethal Playtime, as they add in so much variety to your experience of Lethal Company. Both the Lethal Playtime and Smiling Critters mod requires everyone in the server to install it for it to work. Now for some amazing interior mods. This is the Unreal Tournament Interiors mod, which contains about 3 new interiors for Lethal Company. Now in my previous video, most of you liked the Unreal game interiors, so this is more like a sequel as these interiors are from the Unreal Tournament game instead, which is a classic arena shooter. These interiors are based off of levels and aesthetics. Through here, it brings you to places such as the Dreary Pipeworks, which is based off the inner workings of an abandoned power plant and its slowly rusted away pipeways. Scraps and abandoned belongings are strewn everywhere, and the sewers in the beginning leads to a maze of pipes where fire exits can be found, but if you want the best loot possible, you have to venture deeper into the power plant to find the best ones. The second interior it comes with is the Gothic Monastery. Focusing on its catacomb look, the window blows throughout the empty sprawling halls of this church with abandoned artifacts and dusty scraps which litters its floors deep in the undercrofts. As mentioned on the mod's website, if you don't ensure the elevators are operational, you may find yourself stuck in the catacombs, a spooky one to walk around in for sure. Now maybe a fortress is more of your thing. Well, this is the Guardia Fortress, which is the third interior in this mod. It features a solitary fortress buried underground beneath the eyes of the public, which had obviously been abandoned. Within this towering halls lays plenty of loot to find. You will find multi-platform and floors awaiting for your discovery, with pathways lit by color lights awaiting for your arrival. Overall, another amazing interior mod that suits the taste of anyone looking for something new. As usual, the spawn rate of these interiors can be tweaked in the config menu if needed. This mod requires everyone to install it for it to work. Now, how about the mod that requires cooperation between you and your employee friends? Well, this is the XL Scrap mod, and it is a pretty damn fun mod to have with other people. It has in huge scraps that are way too heavy for just one employee to carry, so you need to work with your team together to actually bring it back to your ship. Some of the extra large scraps in this mod are the RCT TV, the couch, and also the large couch. I love this mod as it allows you and your crewmates to have an additional layer of interactable fun. Not a lot of mods out there that do this, so I'm actually really happy to introduce this mod even though it's a simple one. So yeah, nothing much to say about this one, but go ahead and try it out with your friends for an additional layer of fun. This mod requires everyone in your lobby to install it for it to work. Now up next, this is also another pretty simple mod, which is called the Random Enemy Size mod. It enables monsters to now spawn in random sizes, and it works with entities at both the indoors and outdoors environment. Hazards can even spawn in random sizes as well if you enable it. This mod works with both vanilla enemies and modded enemies as well, so no one is left behind. Now by default, HP influence will be activated, which means that the health of enemies will be multiplied depending on the size they spawn at. The bigger they are, the tankier they will be, and the smaller they are, the weaker they also will be. Sound influence will also be activated by default, which means that they will generate louder or quieter sounds depending on their size. There is also a mode called Fun Mode, which can be activated by you to randomize the size of every axis of a monster. This means that they can appear way more fatter or skinnier, or even some other funny sizes depending on how lucky you are. Overall, it is a relatively simple mod that influences the majority of the game without overcomplicating things up. It requires everyone in your lobby to install it for it to work.